Welcome to Natural 6!
Sorry, that was really too much.
No, I liked it. This sort of very feral thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that by playing a character that has so much, has a sort of animalistic bent, you find yourself accessing what what people are often encouraged to do in drama school, animal work?
100%.
Did you do animal work?
We did.
What was your animal?
Well, so when we did it, you were given the opposite animal to what they thought you were.
Oh,
so it's harder.
God, it's
layers on
you have to, you get given an animal, and you have to watch their physicality,
education.
and then you have to personify them.
Can we try and guess what they thought you were and what they thought you?
Well, I never
thought
found
they
out what I
gave
thought I
you?
was.
Okay.
I only have found out what they thought I was the opposite.
Okay, so I think you are the opposite of an otter, something that lies on its back, lets the water flow as it will, like opening clams with a rock and and just kind of that feels. You okay, baby?
Well, that is a term.
I know what an otter is, sweetheart. I know what an otter is.
You know what? I learned the phrase
As a lapsed twink.
I learned the phrase once, wetter than an otter's pocket, and I love that phrase.
What else? So I've said otter, and I guess brevity is the soul of wit here. So what do we reckon Alex's animal they gave him, which is the opposite of his natural state?
A rabbit.
I was going to say sloth because it's the opposite.
We can double up on
Alex's,
sloth.
like,
We can double sloth.
Constant energy.
I think they gave him an elephant.
Camel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that because you don't
refuses
hold
to spit.
water?
He's constantly dehydrated. Someone followed him once into the toilets and went, "Oh my God, Alex we have to give Alex camel. We have to teach him to hydrate."
So like every time you drink water, you immediately just
straight out.
It's like that joke about like a skeleton ordering a drink at a bar. It just
did someone just once walk in and shout, "Please, for God's sake, give this man a hum"?
Welcome to episode 25. I didn't do the episode last time. Episode number. I was so excited, but this is episode 25 of our adventures in the world of Reliquiae. We're a quarter of a way to a century of episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. And if we include non-canonical live shows, this is our 28th episode. Oh, actually, Session 0, this is our 29th episode. Session 0, 2 live shows and The Dream of the Dragon.
We've been playing for a minute.
We have been playing for a hot minute, haven't we?
Quarter-life crisis.
A quarter-life crisis.
Excited for that to happen.
What are we going to do for our quarter-life crisis?
Yeah.
I think we're going to decide
have sex
we want
with
to
John Mayer.
have sex with John Mayer and think we want to decide to live in Paris for a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a sports car.
I was going to say sports car.
But who's got that kind of money in a quarter-life crisis?
Wow.
I didn't have money for a sports car 9 years ago. I don't have money for a sports car
I'm buying a
now.
slightly upgraded Polo.
I have a Honda Jazz.
And I still have that slightly upgraded Polo to this day.
Which couldn't start so you could go to work.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's say hi to our heroes.
Hello, I'm Aoife Wilson. I'll be playing Dolly de Winter, the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, I'm Alex Jordan, and I'm playing the Kobold Rogue.
Hello, I'm Doug Cockle. I'm playing Kelis, the Dragonborn Druid.
Hi, I'm Hollie, and I'm playing the human fighter Elowen Grenweird.
Hi, I'm Bennett. I'm playing Radian Thornbear, the Wood Elf Wizard.
It felt like you genuinely forgot the name of the character.
Yeah.
Just
You
for a
did.
split. Just like for a split. You threw yourself by not saying Starr, didn't you?
Also, I was trying something new and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So we had a switch up. We had the human fighter, Elowen Grenweird.
Oh, that does switch.
Yeah.
That does switch. I don't think that's ever
You
the
just
same.
you just go with
do
it,
what you
don't
want.
you?
Yeah.
Just you go with the flow.
No consistency.
And
No,
I'm,
gotta keep you thinking.
Sorry, yes, we've got
I'm Harry
someone else.
McEntire. I'm the like the bones, the tendons, the skin, the muscle, and the fat content, so that these these throbbing, pulsing hearts, lungs, and heads have a fleshy meat sack in which to.
So that was the least sexy thing I've ever heard in my
It's
life.
hard. It's kind of hard. Well, I said I don't write these down. I mean, I can't spin gold every time. Sometimes, and I'm okay with this. This is a growth mentality. That'll probably be the worst one I ever do.
In that instance, I think you don't write it down so there's no paper trail. I don't think you ever want that one to come back to
I
you.
think it felt illegal, and I
Yeah,
think that's what
yeah.
threw me. Shall we play some Dungeons and Dragons? Stop!
Some dungeons.
I said Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, this bodes well. Shall we play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah!
Is it worth acknowledging that due to a technical snafu, we have no music? And I said, I'm going to pretend to press the recap button for verisimilitude, and you really overshot the runway.
What's worse though is it's been edited in, so people at home have got no idea this
I
episode.
love this song.
Last time. You began in the ruined city of Alvelion, forming a plan as members of the Gloam picked their way through the collapsed buildings and crumbling stonework to your location, having been summoned by Radian blowing a death whistle. As Elowen, Parvus, and I, the character not the me, hid in a nearby building, with you, the owl not the pronoun, Kelis, Dolly, and Radian disguised themselves as members of the Gloam, hoping to appeal for help as Radian feigned injury. The approaching figures were skeptical at first, but after concocting an imaginary Gloam ring and an ambush that had left you wounded and depleted, the group agreed to help take you to their camp. Parvus, I, and Elowen followed at a distance before one of the Gloam overheard Kelis whispering and became suspicious. A series of humiliations, threats, counter-threats, and insults, attempted mediations followed before Kelis called one of them a pussy and battle began. Despite Radian falling to a spear, you dispatched the group with little drama. Dolly successfully sending one of the Gloam back to his camp under the thrall of the suggestion spell, though in their final moments, your adversaries blew another Gloam whistle to alert more of their comrades. You set about planning what to do next, deciding that Dolly and Radian would follow the enchanted Gloam member to camp and attempt to gather information while the others watched and waited should more cultists arrive. As Dolly and Radian charmed their way in and spoke to the leader of the group about his mission and beliefs, Elowen, I, Parvus, and Kelis saw more Gloam approach the site of your previous encounter. Not wanting them to return to camp, fearing more danger for your friends, I wanted to draw the cultists back towards the forest, and despite Elowen's concerns, the four of you eventually crept forward to enact I's plan. As you approached the group, a failed stealth check gave away Kelis's position, and he swiftly turned into a panther, pretending to maul Elowen and turning to intimidate his foes. Obviously. Before the Gloam could react, I lit a torch and dashed into the ruined city, luring his enemies deeper into the ruins where he hid before circling back to a panther Kelis and a furious Elowen. Having gathered as much information as they thought possible, Dolly and Radian escaped the camp through Dolly's shiny new spell Dimension Door, reuniting with the rest of the newly dead. You headed toward the raised walkway which led to the Virtuous Hall, Parvus in tow, before Kel found a safe spot for you all to rest for the night. As Dolly prepared to sleep, she heard a voice from within her pack. It was one of the web's sending stones, the spinner's voice reverberating in her head. Poor Dahlia, sweet little fly, you exchange one web for another. Ask your former quarry what happened to his parents. See how he weaves and dissembles. And that is where we are now.
And I'm going to reply to that message. I'm going to hold Sending Stone in my hand, and I'm going to say, you'll find out how sweet I can be. One day, your prince will watch through his many eyes as I burn his web to the ground. And then I'm going to drop the Sending Stone, and I'm going to walk over to where the rest of the group, like, kind of asleep.
Well, we were establishing that the first watch, I can't remember who was taking the first watch. I was going to take the first watch. You found this really well-positioned, crumbled masonry that's formed a sort of natural or unnatural defense against the elements, protection from would-be monsters and predators and the approach of Gloam. And I would say it's been sort of 10 to 15 minutes since you arrived, and you've spent that time, perhaps, if you say so, and I don't want to be didactic, lighting a fire, preparing food, now getting to a point where people are settling down to rest. So I would suggest, unless anyone feels that they are so legitimately exhausted by the day's events that they're out like a light, I would suggest everyone is still awake and in the same space.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to walk over to Radian. And I'm going to, I don't know if there are other people are around, but I'm going to say, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Not here.
Well, then where are we going to go?
I don't know. Just a little bit away.
Fine.
I'd like the other three to
Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
the room.
See you, kids.
It makes sense.
Before we begin this, can one of you roll perception and one of you roll survival? One of you checks that the coast is clear, one of you finds a suitable place to chat. I don't mind who does what.
Which would you like?
You roll perception.
Okay. 12.
Okay, you can hear out in the distant city dark snow starting to fall softly. And you watch as it lands, it kind of doesn't settle on this blighted. It's strange. It's as if there are elemental, magical, and forces of decay all competing for control of this strange place. And you hear out in the almost pitch black, you can hear the noises of life, but nothing sounds close. What was your survival?
10.
10. Once Dolly reports that very little is close, you think that probably the best place to be would be just under the arch itself of the bridge. At least there you can see things, but it doesn't afford you much cover.
No. What's so important?
What happened to your parents?
What do you mean?
What happened to them?
Why do you care?
Do you trust me?
Yes, I do.
You ever wondered if maybe you shouldn't?
Not for a while.
What happened to them?
Why do you care?
Because that's what I was sent here for. I was sent by the web to watch you and to report back on everything you did. And you made it really easy. Never once questioned. I thought for ages about how am I going to ingratiate myself to this one? What do I say? How do I behave? How do I react? In the end, all it took was a daisy chain. And you were so willing to trust me.
Radian, roll me an investigation check.
24.
You reach into your pack, and you pull out that daisy chain, and that daisy chain is blighted.
Why are you telling me this?
What happened to your parents?
Why are you telling me this?
I wondered for ages why, after I told the group what I was brought here to do, the orders I had, none of you ever questioned me, not once. Like Elowen, she had every reason to hate me, and just didn't. That drove me. It's been keeping me up every night. And I don't know that I made the right choice. Maybe that'll be the end of me. Maybe the web will catch up and all this will be for nothing, but I just wanted to come clean about that little thing, just in case.
And you want to know what happened to my parent?
Yeah, I do.
Radian's eyes turn black, as if he's about to summon a spell. And he goes right up to Dolly.
Be careful.
I could kill you right now.
I can.
Yes, I could. I could kill you right now, and there'd be no one to save you.
I'm here. Try it.
You wonder why it's so. You don't know anything about me, and you do not know what I am capable of.
I know enough. Been watching. It's my whole entire job is to watch. And the second you took that daisy chain from me, all I saw was this frightened, scared little boy, and all he wanted was someone to love him. And I'm sorry. I've done some awful, awful things in my time. And I'm trying to make up for that now. Every day is a struggle. But I just want to know that that was the right choice. And if they're trying to get inside my head, asking me to ask you what happened to your parents, what happened to them?
I killed them. They're dead.
That talk you give. Every time we kill people with one hand and dig their grave with the other.
Don't give me a lecture. Do not give me a lecture on morality. You came here under orders of the web to spy on me, and I killed my parents by orders of the web. I'm just like you, following orders, doing what I'm told. There are many things that I don't remember, but there are many things that I do. Things that I can never forget, things that I want to forget. I don't just hear whispers from the cards. I feel the pain and agony that they made me feel every single night. These thorn bears, they took me in, they tortured me, then they sent me off to the web to work for them.
Mm-hmm. They're not your family. They never were.
Doesn't matter. They're all the family I can remember. Imagine that, never knowing what love feels like, never knowing what joy feels like. Because all you ever feel is pain from those that you trusted. So they sent me off to the web, and the first thing the web told me to do was to kill them.
You still didn't learn your lesson.
I did it gladly.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder why I use hypnotic gaze.
Why?
I learned that from her.
Your mother?
Yes. I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop screaming. So she would numb me. Yet it didn't numb me. She would torture me. And so when I came back to kill her, I used it on her. Just like she taught me to. I used hypnotic gaze on her, and I strangled her to death.
Sounds like she deserved it.
Maybe. But I didn't have a choice. Because otherwise they would kill me.
So, that's your story?
That's part of my story, yeah. I am a killer. I am a murderer.
We all are.
Yes. You happy?
No, not particularly. You still didn't learn your lesson. Still trust far too easily.
No, I don't. I can kill you.
No, you can't. And if you ever try, you'll find out who I really am. I'm just gonna walk away.
Is there anything you do in the moments after she leaves?
No. Doesn't do anything. Actually, yes. Can I listen out for... I'm gonna put my hand in my pack and pull out the deck of many friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then hold it out. And just hold it really, really tightly in my hand. Almost like try and squeeze it harder and harder and harder and harder. Like really hard. As in he's trying to crush it with force damage.
Roll me a charisma saving throw.
It's a 7.
You take 4 points of psychic damage. As you... It's almost like it's like hitting a nerve.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in your hand, there's this channel of pain that goes from your hand to your brain in an instant, and it's like something's trying to force its way out the front of your skull. And you hear the whispers of the deck. And then you hear voices laughing. And you release the deck.
Oh, because I have 2 hit points now.
Let's bring them back in.
Back in.
I just say that secretly Cal was following you and heard everything.
Yeah, the whole lot.
You were listening like a DJ on the outside.
Yeah. It's high perception. Okay. So Dolly and Radian have disappeared out into the city. And the 3 of you are left with Parvis. Kelis, Elowen, and I left with Parvis. Is there anything you would like to do?
I want to get a closer look at Parvis's collar thing, the bit around his neck.
Sure.
I want to see. I don't have much Arcana. Right, I've not got a lot, but I would love to just do a check and see if I can get any sense of what it is about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You can roll me. You can roll me an investigation to look at the physical mechanics, or you can roll me an Arcana to try and discern what is going on there in terms of the power of it beyond the mechanical.
I think Arcana. I'd like
That would be an Arcana. Great.
It's an 18.
An 18. It seems to have some kind of warding or curse cast on it.
Is this am I getting this energy, or is there any sort of no markings, nothing? It's
There's don't seem to be any glyphs scratched into it or anything that indicates a particular functionality or spell that you recognize. But you sense a kind of a hostile warding magic coming from it.
If you did not have this on, you would probably be able to remove it.
Perhaps.
How long has you had it on?
I was not always where you found me. At the top of the tower. He's speaking in common for the benefit of the room. For a while I was in a small chamber. No light, no sound. It was hard to discern day and night, and time. It was like being underwater. But it must have been weeks, if not months.
Does you want to rest?
I does. I am well, but I would not so quickly return to the state I was before. Exhausted and broken by it all.
If you wants to rest, I is happy to sit and watch.
Before we do, what you did earlier, I get it. I do. I get that you wanted to help. You ran off on your own. The whole world is against us right now. And us, we've kind of all we've got.
We trusted Aunt Dolly.
Dolly wasn't alone. Anything had happened to you, we wouldn't have been able to get to you, to help you, to protect you. We could have lost you.
And sometimes, that is what we need to risk. We cannot always be together. Tribe does not get anything done if they can never leave each other.
Tribe is at its weakest when it's not together.
We was.
Right now, for us, dying is going to be really, really easy. But if we're going to survive whatever Reliquiae plans to throw at us, that's going to be hard, and we're going to need to be together.
And if what happened if it had led to the loss of a Dolly and a Radian, if they had gone back, then we as two out of the tribe.
Dolly and Radian were together. They had each other. You potentially had nobody.
I has ways.
Well, forget it. If you said so, let's just hope that your ways will always make sure you find a way back, because next time you try it, one of us might not be able to come and get you.
That is the risk we have to take.
No, that's the risk you take.
Little Scale is wily.
Little Scale will get himself killed. Little Scale will find his own way to the Old Dark, and it won't be with us.
That is a strange thing to say. When I has used what I know and my skills, and the threats of not being with tribe for the sake of helping the tribe.
We were together.
Parva slips into Draconic. He says, "This is care, I think. A different way of caring. I do not think this is punishment. I think this is fear that speaks.
But care cannot mean control.
For some it does. We are not like others. She cares. She fears. And she does not see that you see her fear and see her care. Perhaps."
Harvest is right.
Oh, I forgot you speak. Yeah, you speak Draconic. Damn!
But if we are not willing to risk things, there may be no one to care for at all. Sometimes we have to lay trust in ourselves, and we have to lay trust in each other. We have to know that someone making a risky choice and a bold decision is needed. We cannot always be safe. We cannot always. And we may not get where we are meant to be going.
Parva says, sometimes. You use sometimes and always. And you are right. Sometimes risk, sometimes safety. Not always one or the other.
But I has not
That is what she fears.
always gone off on its
That
own.
is what she fears. And he puts his hands up as if to say, you know, not what's that phrase that you use, Holly? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
There's a lot around this group. Yeah, and I will literally put my hands up and be like, do whatever you think is right. And I guess I'll just sit down at the fire by myself because I speak neither Draconic and I haven't been invited to the other party. So,
At this point, I'm going to say Dolly enters. Dolly comes back in first.
I'm starving. What are we doing for dinner? Who has food?
Well, I think last time we went and got food, we nearly killed Radian, so maybe not us.
Well, that wasn't our fault.
Okay, well, I'm freezing. I'm just going to sit down here. Scooch over.
Get your dagger out. Show me how you hold the dagger.
Huh?
Now, when we were fighting, you missed. Show me how you hold a dagger.
Okay.
Roll me roll me a sleight of hand.
10.
Okay, you're holding it, but it's a bit. You can tell you don't really fight with it
Loosey goosey.
ever so much. Yeah. You can. It's holding it like someone who uses it as a last resort.
Dolly, it's a dagger, not a paintbrush.
Well, it's the same principle, right?
No, try it like this. Place your thumb on the tip of the blade. It won't be as powerful, but you'll be able to feel the blade better. You'll have better control over it.
The dagger's just a conduit for the other cool stuff I can do. It's just...
The dagger is the difference between you and the dirt. It's your last-ditch attempt. And if you have your dagger in front of you, some people even think about twice before they even try and come near you.
If they're close enough to me, that's when I can do the most
If they're
damage.
close enough, place your thumb on the top, drive it down. It's nasty up close. But if you miss, you'll either hit your foot or you'll hit the air. But you can do a lot of damage. It's also great for a backstab.
Oh, it feels good too, actually.
Roll me a sleight of hand with advantage.
Oh. 2 3s. With plus a 6, so 9.
A 9. You very much look like someone learning a new technique. Like it looks. You've.
I'm trying to
How
make
many-
it look cool.
Yeah.
more than
How many?
anything else.
Have you ever trained anyone before, Elowen?
No, I've probably only ever been trained.
Right, and you realise suddenly how tricky it is if someone doesn't have like a natural affinity for a weapon to talk them into an understanding of that technique. But at least she's
This
trying.
is good. This is good. Actually, this is fine.
Yeah, but maybe not at people.
Like
yeah,
filleting, like a steak, right? Like just...
yeah, if you've got the right control, I suppose it's like filleting a steak.
Whoa, keep that pointy end over there.
At this point, Radian reappears.
What are you doing?
Just sort of going over some dagger techniques.
Dolly's learning how to stab someone in the back.
Maybe not for the first time, but
That's what I do.
I know you guys have a lot of magic. I know it's really powerful, but sword and steel, they're not the ones to betray you. If you know what you're doing with a dagger,
Okay.
do a hell of a lot of damage.
I go over to Dolly. Let me have a go.
You hand him the dagger.
Okay, so you're gonna take it like this.
I'm moving as
Place
far.
your thumb is
as
on
I
the
can.
edge of the blade. You won't have as much power if you thrust like this. And remember, it's a dagger, not a sword. You don't swing it, you put your weight behind it.
Great.
But with your thumb there, you'll have more control over it. It doesn't feel as easy as placing your thumb here. But I'd wager you need more control with that dagger than, well, how you currently act.
My eyes are going to glow yellow.
If I were you, Radian, I would just stick with big balls of fire.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
An 11.
Marginally better than Dolly.
You know what? Actually, though, I might we just take that back. We'll keep practicing. We'll keep practicing. But
Good to know.
don't underestimate. Sometimes magic won't get you everywhere you need.
I don't know. Gets you pretty far.
Well,
I remember that dagger. Remember that dagger when you just stabbed it into me?
It was a good day.
You never said sorry.
No, I didn't, did I?
Well, you two have obviously had a conversation we've not been a part of. And I'll either say sort it out amongst yourselves or move on.
Powers gets really close to you, and whispers in your ear in Draconic, "Not our circus, not our."
And I turns around and just goes,
What is a monkey?
No one has explained a monkey to me. Still.
Powers looks genuinely troubled and says, "Me neither."
They sound terrifying.
They do. They does. I'm sure they are.
What is a circus?
I don't know. Don't know. Never satisfactorily explained either.
A fighting pit of some sort.
Some kind of arena, perhaps. And is there anything anyone else wants to do before I takes the first watch?
Good.
Cool. So the rest of you, what we'll do is we will do, because we are in a really hostile environment, we will need 3 people to be on watch for like 4 hours at a time. So essentially the last person, it's just them resting while everybody else is up.
I is gonna turn to Radian and go,
You does not sleep anyway. Not in the same way.
No.
Oh, yeah, so if Radian does one of the watches, you can get away with just 2 for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the rest of you, bed down. I roll me perception.
15.
15. Where are you looking and how are you positioning yourself? Are you outside of the shelter?
Yeah, so you're saying that the crumbled walls have kind of formed this
Almost like a pitched roof,
Yeah,
like
I
a
am-
traditional pitched roof.
Batmaning.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Capes blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Kate Billowing keeps changing the form of the cape till he finds the best
Yeah.
one, cycling
Yeah.
through all of his
Get a
customization
shadow and-
choices.
Somehow my eyes are now just white.
Yeah. 15. You, much like you were taught by Parvis, you are trying to adjust yourself to the everything of it all. And
I actually do have white eyes.
oh yeah, you do. You're walking.
I'm
right?
walking,
You're
actually.
walking.
I'm walking.
Yeah.
And I am circling
Mhm.
with you,
Mhm.
sort of just above.
And what you spot with the 15 is strange shapes, sometimes moving among the rubble. The undulation, almost like there are undulations in the earth as things shift and slip and slide.
But I'm not recognizing any patterns of them coming towards.
Not recognizing any patterns of them coming towards you. And you don't hear anything approach.
I'm not going to go and instigate anything, so I'm just going to continue to circle and just wait and see if I spot anything that is coming unnecessarily close. But
And nothing does that. So after 4 hours, your watch is
Ended.
ended.
This is all a bit too Westeros now with the walking.
Gloriously not seen it, so can't be stealing from it, which is great.
Hold the door.
Oh no, I have seen that. No, hang on, that's Game of Thrones. I have seen that. Radian, perception check for your watch.
And I'm going to put it through this because I
Yes.
love it.
Reclaim the tower, baby.
Dolly doesn't like it. So not one.
I can tell you.
Oh my god.
I want it gone. I want it gone.
When will you believe me about this thing?
There can be miracles when you believe.
Get it
Do you know
away
what?
from me.
Do you know what? We need someone out there to supercut all of these roles.
Yeah,
in
that's
this
So many of
tower.
them have half it up screen.
Why
Like
do you
Ben was
keep
playing
using
with it
That's
before
a
the
nat
BTS.
one.
That's crazy.
I
And
love
like-
this thing.
No, you don't.
It is great.
Guys, it's fun. It's better than a 10. You know what I mean?
You.
Oh God.
You see fuck all.
What are you thinking?
He
Stop
doesn't
thinking.
sleep, but somehow he's
thinking
fallen
so
asleep.
loudly.
You see nice figures approaching from the shadows.
You hear nothing.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
You hear nothing. It's the least. It's like the city is silent. You're turning over in your head the conversation that you had with Dolly, remembering the way when you tried to do what you tried to do with the deck. The pain and the noises. And that's all you can focus on. Pain isn't still there. The pain's gone. But it deadens you to everything beyond. It was a bad choice, you realise, to have you on watch tonight. Your head's somewhere else, and by the time you realise your 4-hour watch is up, you realise you really haven't been looking.
Great.
Great.
Go again?
No, you're
done.
You're done.
My watch is done.
Now your watch is ended.
That went well.
Radian, as the first light starts to emerge over the blighted city, roll me a perception check.
I'm going to do it through that again.
No, you're not.
No!
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he has
because
listen,
honestly, I feel like after what's happened,
it can't get worse.
He's so emo. Okay, that's a 16.
Okay. You see maybe one collapsed building away from where you are. That mound of vines and branches that briefly threatened to attack you as you were accompanying the Gloam back to their camp. That is close.
Okay.
That will have a vantage point of the entrance to where the rest of you, where you all are. It has not yet seen you.
I sneak over to Elowen and I shake her awake.
Wait, what? What's happening?
Look over there.
Great. Did you not think to tell us sooner?
Yes,
pretty close, Radian.
I saw it 4 hours ago, and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait for it to arrive to reveal you. That's what I immediately thought, Elowen.
You know what? I didn't even
sat
put
it and I
past
said, you know what I'm going to do? Yes, this is the first time I've seen it.
So you weren't looking?
I was looking. I heard nothing.
Apparently so. Right. Okay. We need to get everybody up.
Well, we had a long rest by this point.
Oh, you've had a long rest. I know, I technically...
Was it?
I hasn't.
No, I was about to say
I hasn't. But the rest of you have.
So I'm sort of going to start waking people.
Yes, now.
Yeah, I'm going to go over to... let's say actually Kelis is next to me, so I will wake Kelis. Kel. And I just point through the kind of the doorway.
Someone roll me 3 D100s.
D100.
Yeah, so
you
3 of you
each.
roll me a D100.
We're awake, so we'll do one each.
Yeah.
What's the D100?
It's the
It's
percentile.
it's the percentile, so it's your 10 and your one with 10s on it.
We need 3?
No, so we're 3
We'll do
people are
one
doing
each.
it. So you need to roll 2 die though.
2 die?
You need to roll
Oh, yeah.
the one with the units and the one with the 10s. They're the same shape.
Yeah.
Do you
Just like
see
we
what
do
I
in
mean? Just
roly-poly.
like we do with the roly-poly,
Yeah.
where you add the 2 up. So who's rolled?
Me,
What did you roll?
17.
17.
So you rolled 72.
You too.
Yeah. A 70 and a 2.
Boy, I do not know percentile dice.
No, that's becoming
God, you rolled 270.
18. No. That is a total of 117. This thing is 117 feet from you. I will tell you, this thing has blind sight for a range of 120 feet. If you'd rolled high enough, it is blind beyond that radius. So if you had rolled high enough, it would not have been able to see you at
fucking
all. It is, I don't know really why I've told you that. I just thought it was amazing. But as far as you're concerned, you have no idea whether or not this thing can see you or not. But I just got so excited by the roll. That's such terrible DMing.
So what's it? No, I'm like, is it? So we can't tell whether it can see us.
You don't know.
It's made
You don't know.
no.
You
It's just
can't even tell
close.
if this thing has a face. You just know it is it is close. It is like less than 40 yards from you.
I'm going to move to Dolly next and just give Dolly a nudge. And
So are you letting I sleep?
No,
No,
he's
I
next.
couldn't tell.
He wants to do things on his own.
No. So that you rouse everybody, and this thing is close.
What do we do?
If we can get away without causing a noise, that's probably for the best.
Why have we let it get this close?
Grab your stuff, let's go.
I may be able to help.
Sorry, if you just do that, it zooms back out.
I thought Doug was frightened by his own plan, his own genius. He was like, he clicked something on his laptop and the
it
whole
zoomed
thing
in
done.
really quick.
Zoomed in.
It went to like 250% zoom.
The biggest hoe you've ever seen.
I may be able to give us an advantage to help us sneak past.
Well, so far, all of your plans that I've been around have been impeccable, so...
No, this one's good. It involves no mauling at all.
All right, if it helps us get away without starting a fight or starting a fire or making a loud noise. It does one of those.
It was all those things. It was every single one.
It was only those things.
No,
Thermatorches, you're going to use thermatorches.
I think there is only one way to sneak past without it seeing us. And it's not foolproof, but we can try. Stay close. And I cast Pass Without Trace.
Great.
Which gives all of us a plus 10 to stealth checks.
Sorry, hold on. So I now get a plus 21 like, to my stealth check.
If you somehow fail this, if you fail this.
This thing is not.
Go.
Quickly before
This thing
the
is not
fight.
axe. This is the.
Has your computer screen gone
No.
250?
Is it a big O as well?
Just pinch your fingers
Don't
together.
worry, I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, God.
I promise I'll tell you as well.
Oh god.
Okay.
May I ask, a plus 10, is that on top of my stealth modifier?
Yes.
On top of
Yeah.
one.
I also can't roll lower than a 10.
You roll and you add a plus.
But you
10 to
could
it.
roll a nat
I
one.
could roll a nat
which
one.
nullifies
You need to
everything.
beat. I'm gonna say. Okay.
We're doing a
I
collective?
don't even need you to. I need you all to roll, and no one to roll a nat 1. This thing has a passive perception of 10.
Okay.
So as long as you don't roll a nat 1, Parvis rolled a 7. What is it?
On the dice it's a 14.
I'm going to roll it. No, I think the danger needs to be there. We need to purge
it's a
it.
30 in total.
30,
39.
39.
Are we adding the modifiers?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, God. 19, 29, 32.
19 for Parvis.
29.
29. Don't roll a nat 1. Don't do it.
God.
Thank God. It's, I don't know, in the 30s or the 40s.
Great.
Well, the 40s?
It's in the 50s. I got a plus. I wrote here plus
got 30
40
something.
to being a badass in
Yeah, no, very
situations,
good.
yeah.
Spoon carving being a badass. You all got to pick one extra ability.
Yeah.
I will level with you. I've since discovered that the creature's blind side is 60 feet.
I blew a spell?
I'm so sorry. This one had 120 feet though, so
It's a magic one.
This is a
It's
magic.
an
This is a magic
It's an
one
Avelian
because
one.
I can't stress this
Harry,
enough.
it's your world.
Shit's magic round.
Yeah.
So you managed to slip past this mound of twisted branches and vines and leaves and sort of sneak past it. Eye is still short a few hours rest, I will say that. He looks tuckered out, bless him. So if you want to find just a spot for him to just spend some time
Kelis, that big scale carries me.
In the bubbles.
Okay, all right, okay, hang on, because that's so dumb. I'm kind of interested in it. Let's I think I might be into it. So let's give me a strength check from
What
Kelis.
about if I'm bound to him with rope?
No. If you roll a 15 or higher on a strength check, you are so capable of carrying him for the next couple of hours that it would be a genuinely restful environment in which to be carried.
Oh, I bet it'd be like...
An athletics check.
Could we
15.
Could we put me in
Yeah.
a bag of holding with a straw?
Absolutely not. I'll kill you so quick.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. Okay, so you're not going to be able to be carried for this rest. You need to actually find a place.
Kel tries to pick me up, and then he's just like, and I kind of
You
like,
can't get the weight distribution.
yeah,
right.
and then I just
wiggling.
kind of do this on his biceps and go, what is this for?
So you are, if you want a fully rested eye, you are going to need to find somewhere to just hunker down and have a couple of hours just where he can get a little bit more shut-eye.
Do you need rest?
I think time is the most important thing.
Is that a yes or no?
That's a very good question, because that is an incredibly ambiguous
I
answer.
am still beginning to understand time as a concept. I think we needs to move. I think if the gloam is looking,
You gonna be okay?
it is for the tribe.
Good thing your crossbow doesn't get tired.
I forgot. Can I roll a...
Yes, roll me a DC 15 Constitution saving throw for your blight.
I rolled a nat 1.
Okay.
Should use the tower.
I'd like you to take, I'd like you to roll a d4.
Oh, no. I rolled a 1.
hey.
You lose 1 from your max HP permanently.
Oh, I thought it was like an O as in the amount of damage.
And
You're
you
like, oh,
are now...
Permanently. Wow.
Well, until curse is removed. Kind of like when we had played before.
And you are now vulnerable, as in you take double damage from radiant damage.
Nice.
spicy.
You still have resistance to necrotic, and you still get your plus 1d4 to melee attacks made while blighted with a plus 1d4 necrotic damage.
As we're walking, I just say to Elowen, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit weaker than I was yesterday. And I'm trying to style this out. Like, I feel embarrassed. So I was hoping that if we could try and make a name work for me.
Another name.
I want to be known as the Blighted One.
I mean, you are a blight,
No, I
but
know,
I wouldn't know if you're the
introduce
blighted
me,
one.
go, this is Radian, the Blighted One.
Do you think you've got the sort of the aura to carry that
I
off?
don't think so, and I'm trying to make the best of it. That's why I'm looking for your help.
I'll think about it.
Okay, just like float it amongst the gang. You spread it
It's
amongst
not
them.
like you
I'll
think
spread
What
it.
is you whispering
You think
about?
if I seed it?
I is so untrust. People keep disappearing, having chats,
What's
smaller
this you
groups.
whi- what's
Why-
this you whispering
why is
about?
everyone talking?
Listen, I'm saying this. I'm embarrassed that I licked a mushroom and I got blighted.
Oh, Radian the Licky one.
The Blighted One.
The licky one is good though.
Like the Licky
No, the licky one's got something
Licky one
to it.
is good.
The Blighted One.
You has licked fish, you has licked mushroom.
I think in certain
Licky.
cities, calling yourself the licky one you'd be popular.
The Licky tongue.
In Vale especially, I think they'd like that.
Please don't call me that.
I think I saw him licking spilled wine off the table back in Balloon as well.
Feels
I told
the
you that
run
in
feels a
confidence.
theme.
Okay, fine. I'll be the Licky One.
I like that.
You
It's-
like that?
Yes, it's got a good ring to it for you, Radian.
We can make a song as well if you want.
You sing?
No, I was hoping maybe someone else.
Not that type of bard, I'm afraid.
No, go on. Let's do a song.
But you're right. You do seem a little weaker. And I'm going to grab Radian's hand and I'm actually going to hold it up and sort of look at it the way I remember looking at my own hand, like when we were in front of the fire.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going to cure this one, Radian.
Pronounce the Licky One now.
I don't know where we're going to cure this one, the licky one.
Neither do I.
I guess we really do have to keep going.
Are
Time
we
really is
moving or
of
not? My spell only lasts for so long, but we still have.
Oh, I don't think we've stopped to talk in front of them.
Oh, we're doing this while we're walking. I guess.
So you climb the steps up towards the raised walkway.
Licky one.
Licky one.
Licky one.
Gotta vary up the pitch a little bit.
Dolly doesn't like it when there's multiple levels of noise happening at once. It really does. I would prefer silence at this point.
And when you get up to the top, it's this dilapidated walkway, 20 feet wide. And it once would have commanded these imperious views over Alvelion, but now it's just the rubble and the fast-growing trees. And at the end, you see the Hall of the Virtuous. And for now, path seems stable. And Parvus sort of stands at the front, looking out at what this city has become. He says, "It was so beautiful. Before was the wonder of the world." And then gives a little sigh and starts to lead you down the pathway.
I would be at the front with Parvus, I think, but also from a sense, thinking about this bridge and thinking about any instability, I feel like the lightest people at the front is probably a smart move. Because if there are any like cracks or movements or something, logically, I'm thinking, I'd rather not have, like, say, Kel be the one at the front who is the biggest guy on a fragile, potentially
What I
fragile
can think of is that
walkway.
picture of the aeroplane where it's got all the bullet holes in
Oh,
it. And
yeah.
people are trying to figure out that's where you put
Survival
yes.
bias.
Okay. So Parvus and I are going at the front. Who's going in the middle? Who's going at the back? It's going to marching order here.
I'm going at the back.
I'll stay with the licky one.
Okay. So
I'll go to the front.
front is Dolly.
Guess that makes me in the middle.
Puts Kel
Kel
in the middle.
sandwich.
How long does Pass Without Trace last?
Up to an hour.
Up to an hour. Okay. And it's concentration, is it, to maintain it? Okay.
How
The-
long is it going to take to walk this path, Parvus?
It genuinely looks to you to be about an hour's walk. This is like it's kind of annoying when it does have that level of symmetry, but it genuinely was in my head an hour's walk before I knew the length of the spell. You can roll me some. Roll me stealth checks. There are some crenellations here that afford
Plus the
plus
10
still plus the 10. Stealth checks here that afford you a little cover, but you are still more exposed than you would be anywhere else. Go ahead.
Nat 20, but I mean, it would be a dirty 41. at
Dirty
this
40,
point, so-
a dirty 41.
Christ.
Dolly?
I'm sorry. It is 28.
Parvus got a 25.
22.
22.
35.
I got a 19, but I got a 2.
Okay. That's okay. A 2, you still use your
I know.
modifiers. A 1, you very much do not. So you make your way cautiously and stealthily down this long walkway. And does anyone want to kind of do anything, have a look over the city, or are you just focusing on keeping your heads down, feeling out the path in front of you and getting...
Could they not have made the stairs closer? Why is this path so long?
At its height, it was rather magnificent. We did not account for points to the city, all this.
Yes,
I'm
bit excessive, but yes.
I actually want to look out the window. I think the whole reason I left was I love adventure. I'm an Evelian. I'm not one for the gods, but this is incredible.
Okay, roll me perception checks. A perception check, I suppose.
A perception check. That is a 13.
Okay, you can make out by kind of looking all around you across this walkway. You can sort of piece together a few buildings that you've heard of, that would have been kind of fabled in terms of the stories that your family might have told and stories you've heard of the city. One place that you see is a place called Enlightenment. And Enlightenment was the site of learning. It was the place where the virtuous, if they weren't sort of receiving in the virtuous hall where all the gods at once would offer advice to the leaders and to students or whatever it might be, Enlightenment was the place where, where almost they would, as individuals, give talks or offer, they're kind of coaching their own, if you like. And you had there's a story of your great-great-grandmother on your mother's side who was one of the first to become a warrior, and that she took private study with Ignace in Enlightenment. That there's a training ground within Enlightenment, and you recognize it by, even though they've fallen now, there were spires. It was this many-spired building, like vertebrae going all the way down the center, and then within it there are courtyards, and you see now that those spires have almost all collapsed. Of the 12 that originally stood, only one is intact, and the rest have crumbled almost into nothing. That's what you see.
So I'll just give a little smile. I think I'm jealous. I'm jealous that just doesn't exist for me anymore. Like it can't.
I would like to
lick.
No, I'd like to because I've actually been thinking about a few things and about the encounter that I had with Dolly last night and the encounter that we had afterwards with the knife, and I want to see if I can take Dolly's knife off of her.
Okay.
And I'm asking this because obviously whether it's a stealth or sleight of hand, but I now have a +10, right?
It'll be sleight of hand to steal something.
Okay.
It's a stealth to get close.
Okay.
But I would... I would say that a stealth check is just as effective on the people who you're with as it is people who you're not with. So roll me a stealth check, as long as you don't roll a nat 1. Should have done it in the tower, you coward.
Yeah. I'll do it in the tower.
No, you've rolled.
That is a 34.
Adding this up with the +10 is just...
it's mind-blowing. It's an extraordinary... It's only a second-level spell, right? It's really, really powerful.
It's very powerful.
That's great.
It's a little OP.
Yeah, it is, I think. I think a +5 is...
it's third level.
Oh, no, it's second level. You're
Okay,
right.
second.
And you get right up to Dolly, who's walking alongside Parvis and I. Her daggers are at her hips.
Did you ever wonder about this place before it was like this?
No. Do you?
No. Are we good?
You tell me.
I honestly don't know.
You're absolutely tuned into this. I would say I and Parvis are absolutely hearing this is happening in front of you.
I don't know what you want from me.
I wanted anything from you. I was just following orders.
You definitely wanted something from me.
I want something from you.
Yeah? What's that?
What is this?
What is it?
You still walking?
I was doing double steps to match like the
Aren't you at
speed.
the back?
No, I was at the front.
Oh, you were at the front.
So it's just me at the
you were
back
at the
now.
back.
It's just me by myself.
You came up back.
Just me wistfully looking out the window and thinking about cool stories.
Do you want to tell them?
No, my area of expertise is in information brokering, and this isn't helpful right now. So I keep things in my back pocket until they are.
Roll perception, Kelis and Elowen. Beyond a 10, you're going to tune into at least that there's some vibes happening.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Nat 1.
Nat 1.
I'm concentrating so hard on this spell.
And also Kel knows he's the largest in frame. He's like the tallest, he's the broadest.
Big lad.
You're really concentrating, excuse my stomach. You're really concentrating on where you're putting your feet. Trying to step where Radian steps, because Radian's probably the second biggest, but even then he's just dashed off ahead, and in this moment you're kind of trying to figure out where you should be. And that and the spell is taking up all of your brain. Like when you're walking along the pavement and trying not to step on the cracks, and you completely tune out the conversation, the person that you're with. But Elowen, you're certainly overhearing this.
Whilst this conversation is going on, can I try and take the dagger? So I'm settling.
Are you trying to distract her by doing that? Can roll me a deception check.
I mean, do I see this? Because I'm...
It's a nat 20.
Hang on. So I'm going to say you can roll a sleight of hand with advantage.
16.
What's your passive perception?
Ooh, good question.
I don't think it's higher than that.
13.
Okay. So yeah,
Sorry, 11.
you managed to.
So I take the dagger. From the very beginning, you thought you were so clever. One step ahead, putting things in my bag, following me around, asking me questions, trying to get to know me. You always think you're the cleverest person in the room.
Yeah.
And I show her the dagger. Sometimes you're not.
Kel, you absolutely clock this.
What the fuck?
Unless you're going to use that dagger to cut the tension, I think you two should explain what the hell is going on.
What are you going to do with that?
I'm just sending you a message.
Yeah? Is that supposed to scare me?
No, but I think it does.
No.
Can I roll intimidation?
I am actually quite scared. I will say that.
Oh, okay. I think what I'm really wary of is us getting into PvP, not actually combat, but contested roles against each other, because it doesn't allow people to roleplay. But if you're telling me that you're scared, I think that's enough. You can roll an insight to see if you can tell.
Nothing. 5.
Dolly is as frustratingly hard to read as ever.
I meant what I said.
What did you say?
It was a conversation between colleagues.
Can I have it back now?
Of course you can.
Thanks. And keep walking.
Just remember, you enjoyed prying the secrets out of me. I expect the same courtesy in return from the both of you.
I'm so confused.
And I would like to pull out his dagger and go, and for the records, who does it like this, and do the motion that...
Oh, nice, yeah, sleight of
And I
hand.
literally turn around and I'm like, well done, I.
Roll sleight of hand with advantage. You're a bit of a dagger boy.
24.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. Roll insight, Elowen, with advantage.
Insight. It's just a dirty 20.
Okay. He does listen. He is watching. And you realize that in this moment, the eye is like, he doesn't miss much.
That was the perfect thing. Who was that?
So with Dolly walking ahead, the rest of you get back into lockstep, walking across this pathway.
I'm actually going to pull Radian back so he's back at the back with me. So actually keeping them apart.
So, you has been blighted. They has all been blighted. Good to never be I.
You feeling left out?
I does not want this.
No, I wouldn't think you do.
I would take on a cool name though. Blighty boy.
Oh, you don't want that. Something way cooler for you. Tiny fast boy.
I likes this.
We'll take a little break.
Now, what's going to tickle in my throat? This tickle is brought to you by dust. It's basically diet dirt. I bet you wish you were that water going down my throat, you f***ing lusty. This is an official statement from Natural 6. Hello, pathetic ground dwellers. It's benevolent demigod and chocolate souffle enthusiast Benjamin Starr here. I've taken a break from my work expanding minds, revolutionizing the entertainment industry, and fixing my bathroom door to bother you for a bit. Lucky you. Hey, here's a free noise. Did that please you? With your low standards, I imagine it did. Here's another. What entertainment. You can't say I don't feed you. Some historical figure definitely didn't say verbatim at one point at some point in the past. Let them eat cake. And you are eating cake. Like Bruce Bogtrotter having just dropped acid, finding himself locked in the bake-off tent with 2 hours to live. Stuff your faces, you uncontrollably high mortal school children. What does that image mean, though, Ben? What's it leading to? It means nothing. Go on. Listen to it back. It's literally just filling time, because this ad spot was meant to be sold to some advertiser somewhere in order to sell ads. That was the idea. Hey, Natural 6, lots of people will want to seek out your platform, but no one did. No one. Not even a low-budget but tastefully lit pornography, which makes no sense. Because look at me. Come on, capitalism. Use my body as your vessel to shift product. It's a very usable body. So instead, I'm going to tell you to give me and some other people in Natural 6 whose names I can't remember off the top of my head, money. And that money gets to us via Patreon. It's good content, in Delian's diary, monthly AMAs, behind-the-scenes footage, an exclusive audio drama. Plus, you don't have to put up with me shilling things unless you want to, because I will shill you all day long. But for money. Lots and lots of money. Because, as it says here, I have no shame, only the desire to receive your hard-earned cash on a regular basis. And while some of you may feel you have the capacity to resist me, please bear in mind that I'm very, very charming and disarmingly persuasive, even when you sleep. And that's something your intermittently conscious minds are just going to have to deal with. So depending on your choice, either thank you or f*** you for listening. Patreon.com/natural6, not natural sex, unless you want it to be. It'll take you to a completely different page. I haven't tried. And afterwards, go back to Natural 6 and thank me for sending you to a site which is probably just natural sex. Unnatural sex is also good. I've heard there's different types of sex. I only know one, and that's kind of standing up, kind of like awkwardly against a wall. I did it once or twice, and it was, as I say in here, explosive, but in a good way, kind way, in a nice way. Also, you like dogs? Have this one. You can have it. I don't even know what this is. This is meant to be my dog, but you can have it. Go on. Take him. Be free. He's yours. Don't look at me. You're theirs now. Go free. I don't love you anymore. Don't look at me like that. Milton, we can't be together. Milton, don't be like that. I have to give you up. We need money. The advertisers didn't give it. Milton, have my dog, please. We need the money.
And we're back.
Wow.
Very good. Very good. Well done, us.
take.
First take, first time, every time, and there'll be nothing to the contrary that made the edit. So you have reached the end of this long walkway. Dolly and I and Parvus up top. Kelnis still in the middle with Endelian, with Elowen. Wow! I was aiming for the Ian of Radian. At the rear of the space.
What was that? You were going to say something?
She's at the Endelian of the group.
I don't really get. I'm not sure I get it.
No,
I hate to pull you out.
It was a sympathy groan.
It's a work in progress.
Okay.
Workshop it. We'll workshop it.
Hey, and I love you for it. Growth
Thanks.
mentality.
Thank you.
Really pushing growth mentality.
And we're better
this
to do
week.
work in progress than on content.
Yeah, than on content.
That will make sense.
That'll make sense after the VTS.
So it comes down in 6 months' time.
I feel like I'm being bullied.
Okay, that's real, and your feelings are really valid.
Eva's just like, yeah.
Yeah, actually.
What are you going to do about it?
So, you've crept over the rest of the city and the Virtuous Hall. Like Alvelion, has long since fallen to ruin. Much of the ceiling has caved in, the stone has turned almost to powder. And there are mosses and lichens growing on these piles of rubble that dot all around this space as those walls have collapsed. And the remaining walls are adorned with murals and elaborate designs, though the once vibrant colours have been faded to these muted, almost pastel shades. And pillars that stretch up towards the domed ceiling have been ravaged by the elements, and they stand dilapidated all at varying heights. And on the floor at your feet, as you enter this vast space, are the symbols of the virtuous, the sword and the scales, the feather, the wheel, all the rest of them. Everyone roll me perception checks. What did we get, Radian?
11.
11. And Elowen?
Nat 1.
A nat 1.
18.
18.
8.
8.
16.
16. Okay, with an 18 and an 8. With your 16 and your 18. Across the space, there is a collapsed dais that looks as if it would once have been sort of commanding a position almost like a throne would take. But it's shifted off to one side. There's ceiling above it and the floor below it both degraded, that it's been moved off that perfect central spot. And away, if you're entering this from 6 o'clock, away at 10 o'clock, there is a the largest mass of rubble, stretches 30 foot high. And next to it you see 3 bodies.
Do you see what I see?
Yeah. I guess let's check it out. And very cautiously move forward to check out the bodies.
We're still under the effects of the pass without trace spell as well.
I think we are out of pass
Oh,
without
we are
trace
out
now.
of it.
Yeah, that we've the hour of pass without trace
We're now
allowed
actively
you.
passing with trace.
Now you're passing with trace. You're eminently tracing. There are that took the length of that long, some would say over elaborate walkway. He's listening at least. That took that up. So that spell's now dropped.
I would like to investigate. Cautiously.
Okay, roll a couple of stealth checks, the two of you then, please. Let's see if we're approaching with caution. What did we get?
13.
A 13.
8.
And an 8.
We stumble towards it.
You get 60 feet from this pile of rubble, and you see that. Are the rest of you going with them, or are you allowing them to go by themselves? They are walking towards this pile.
I mean, I rolled a nat 1, so I guess unless one of you said, "Hey guys, look at this."
You'd see. I think that's different. Taking in the room is different to seeing them walking off. You're not mechanically
Then
blind.
I'd be moving in that direction. But I wouldn't be right next to them.
Okay, so sort of, let's say 30 feet behind.
Yeah.
Okay. Parvis is going to move with you. Radian and Kel, where are you standing? This space is about 200 feet across. It's a really large space.
I think I've kept my eyes on Dolly, so I'll be following her.
What about you, I?
I think I'm. How much of the other symbols do we think I know?
How much of the other symbols?
Like, so I know them, the symbol of themselves. I think I'm probably looking, at the moment, I'm kind of like looking at the others and kind of taking them in. I feel like, to my mind, some Kobold tribes might know more than others and more symbols.
Roll me a history check. Let's see how many you know. Or it can be religion. You can take religion or history. It's probably actually this is a religion check.
17.
17. I would say you might not have seen them before, but you would be familiar with what these are. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that maybe there's some which like I'm looking at, and they're because of the element of passed on information. I'm looking at and I'm piecing together. That is the. It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
But I've seen that symbol, and I'm just.
Oh,
I'm
and
looking,
you're kind of going, I didn't imagine the feather to look like that. I
I'm
imagined a
looking at-
different type of bird.
Exactly.
So we're saying that I is then essentially staying and having a look at these.
Yes.
Great. So as you reach this distance from the pile, you can roll me investigation checks, please, or perception checks, Dolly and Kel. You just need to let me know which one you're doing.
I was doing investigation. I mean, they're the same, but I got a 3.
A 3.
Perception 12.
12.
Can I, because I'm moving with them, or no, because I'm not investigating?
No.
Come on.
With a 12, you see that these are bodies of the glow. They are cloaked and masked, and they seem to have gone through serious trauma, but you cannot discern with a 12 what the nature of that trauma is.
Guys.
I'm going to start making my way over.
What do you think happened to them?
Good. They don't look.
Really hard to say unless we get closer, and
It's hard to see in here.
Are you? I need people to be very specific about their positioning at the moment. Are you moving towards them to have these conversations, or are you having these conversations across a 30-foot distance?
I'll have closed halfway, and I guess as soon as you were like, guys, I would stop, and I'd have my hand on my sword for sure at this point.
Yeah.
Radian?
I would like to move in the direction of the bodies.
Roll me a stealth check. Unless you are not moving stealthily.
No, I'm... Actually, yeah, let's move stealthily. 16.
A 16. Okay. They look to have been... bitten, partially eaten, and one looks like it has been almost digested and regurgitated. I'm going to say I joins the group at this point.
Yep.
Well, does not look good.
It's kind of gross.
Any thoughts, Parvis?
Parvis just stares at the bodies, shakes his head.
Nothing.
And we're meant to be going through there.
Mavelion's already full of things it shouldn't be full of. What's one more surprise for us?
This is meant to be
And he looks in, takes in the hall around him.
the way in. Somehow. In here.
Perfect. Everyone roll perception checks. We'll go with my stomach.
15.
15.
10.
10.
20.
Nat 20.
19.
19. 13. 13. The ground beneath you starts to shake.
Oh no.
And you watch, with a nat 20, the first thing you see, Elowen, is these little skitterings of tiny bits of masonry that are almost skittering away from that pile, at the base of which are these bodies. And then something slams through the floor.
Through the floor.
Through the floor.
Okay.
Through the pile of rubble. A colossal purple worm.
I smash it. I smash it.
It dies. Smashes through the debris, sending a shower of masonry and dust and blight into the air. Everybody roll initiative.
What did you all do?
Okay. So I need to track Parvis as well in this moment. And now the creature. Okay, anyone get higher than a 20?
23.
23 from I.
I got 23 with a nat 20.
Nat 20 from
I had a
Radian.
nat 20 as well.
Wow, so Kelis will go first because he has the higher dex modifier. Then it will be Radian, then it will be I. Anyone from a 15 to a 20?
16.
A 16 for Dolly. Anyone from a 10 to a 15?
A 14.
A 14 for Elowen. Okay. This thing slams up into the air. I'm just going to call this a lair action. Everyone roll me dexterity saving throws as this masonry starts to fall from the sky above you. That is an 18 for Parvis. He's going to save.
21.
21 from Dolly.
18.
18.
5.
A 5 is a fail.
Nat 20.
A nat 20 is a pass.
23.
23. So, Kel, wow, I rolled 12 on 2d6. Kel, you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage from falling masonry. Everybody else takes 6 points of damage.
I have...
Evasion, so you take none?
Yeah.
Fine. That's totally fine. I trust you on that. Kelnis, that is your turn. You were the closest, and this great big creature, this colossal beast, is in front of you, right up close. I'll say you are within 15 feet of it as it rises up through this crumbled stone.
I'm going to
Smash it.
yes, ma'am.
I smash it. Trample.
So I'm just trying to remember if calling Hank out is a bonus action or an action.
I would suggest it's probably an action to
As an
summon
action.
him, and then I think
Yeah.
I think we've had it because it's a wild shape. It's a use of wild shape, which is a which is an action.
I am actually going to hold my action, and I'm going to dodge
Okay.
when needed. Does
Okay.
that make sense? Can I do that?
You can use your action, you can use your action to dodge, so that imposes disadvantage on the next attack roll made towards you. That's what you'd like to do.
That is what I would like to do, but hang on one sec.
You can also...
Oh, I can't do a bonus action if I'm holding my action, can I?
Yes, you can.
You can.
Yeah, so they're different things. So you're using your action to dodge, you still have a bonus action and your movement available to you. You are not currently within this creature's space.
As a bonus action, then I will cast Bark Skin on myself.
Bonus action Barkskin, and you are ready to dodge if needed. Radian, that is your turn. I'm going to say you said you got close to the bodies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say you're right up there with Kel. And then I'm going to say the rest of you are a further 15 feet away. So you are within 15 feet, the two of you, of this purple worm. The other four are 30 feet back.
To be fair, I did investigate it.
Oh, you did? Okay, thank you so much. Dolly's also there.
This big purple thing I'm looking at and going, I bet you think you're really scary. But let's see what scares you. And I cast Phantasmal Killer.
Oh, tell me what happens.
New level giant bird. I tap into the nightmares of a creature I can see within range and create an illusion of its deepest fears. The target makes a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. Dirty 20. Did you say merde? I think you swore in French. I was like, she is so sophisticated. She's a real box of tricks.
On a failed save, it would have taken 4d10 psychic damage and would have had disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls for the duration.
Wow.
I just need everyone to know that.
I wanted to know how cool it would have been.
But it didn't.
It'll take half as much anyway.
Yep, so it takes half the damage, so it'll take 4d10 halved.
For the duration, the target makes a wisdom saving throw at the end of its turn. On a failed save, it takes psychic damage again. On a successful save, the spell ends.
Okay, so you'll need to remind me at the end of each of its turns to re-roll its save. I'm guessing then it's a concentration spell.
It's a
So you have to maintain concentration spell on it. I'm going to say this thing is deeply, deeply unintelligent. I don't think it's going to recognize that you are the caster. This thing is acting on impulse rather than on intellect.
Yeah.
So just remind me at the end of its turns.
I'm going to roll I've only got 2d10, so I can roll them twice.
Do you want more d10s?
Oh, do you want mine?
Yes, please.
That's what you have to percent. You
you go.
can guess what a
Thank you, got
percentile
it.
is, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, the glittery ones. Oh.
Yes, quite nice actually. 18, 25, 29.
Halved to 14.
It's good.
That would
Okay.
have been so sweet.
Give me my d10 back.
That's
You
a pretty
horrible
one, that
boy.
one.
It's
I
a very-
love that one.
I really like those.
Very pretty dice. Great. You watch as this thing rears up. You look at Kel, who is the first to react, and you watch as, how does Barkskin look when you cast it on yourself, Kel?
I think my scales go kind of, they take on more texture. And the shiny kind of goldness of my scales becomes more of a ruddy, kind of browny, red ochre kind of color.
Amazing. Beautiful. And this kind of, you can, no, melee
And it
attack.
kind of goes,
You watch it sort of almost like a suit, like a powering up of a suit, like he's.
Yeah.
And hang on a sec. Let me just grab this. And then, and you watch him sort of hunker down and almost like adopt a defensive stance, like knees bent, ready to act. And then Radian throws out his hand. Can you tell me how this looks?
So I don't know what it's scared of.
Right.
So
Is it still scared? I mean, it's not mechanically scared.
No, it's just a nightmare. So I like whether it sees it, whether we see it or not.
I'm gonna say, what does it? What is it that it's frightened of that manifests itself in front of it? This thing has it imagines a larger purple worm.
It's a bigger
like
one.
an even bigger purple worm that sort of go over its head and almost entirely engulf it. And this, what you see happen is this illusion goes over it and covers it all the way down to the ground where it's emerged. And then from within you see it sort of slough off this illusory shell, and these pieces of the larger purple worm start to fall out, almost like drops of water, flood out over the floor and disappear into nothing.
And then when it does, Radian goes, I thought more was going to happen with that.
That is your turn.
Oh, well, I was going to say, kind of lost up, what's the odds? Mark's just listened to that and gone, I'm going to make that. I realised, and I will get better at this, I didn't roll for you.
Okay.
That's a 13.
I can't remember where that
I rolled a
comes.
14,
You rolled
if
a
that helps
14.
when I'm
Okay,
last.
it does actually. It really does, because Parvis rolled a 12.
Okay.
Oh.
No one is within 5
They are not.
feet. I am going to... It's a worm.
Yes.
How are we going to treat the idea
Would
of...
you still love it if it was a different one?
Yeah, would you love me? I would.
I'm going to ask DM's discretion. It doesn't have eyes, but colour spray and blinding it.
Let me have a little look. It's a good question.
Does it not have eyes?
That's what
Not in my head, it doesn't.
Because this is also a specific type of this. Let me see. It has blind sight, so I'm going to rule it can't therefore be blinded because it is looking with something that isn't.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't specifically say it's immune to the condition, but I'm going to take blind sight. It has blind sight and tremor sense. It doesn't actually have vision, so I'm going to say you can't blind it because there's nothing to blind.
Okay. Then I'm going to go for something which is kind of, I guess, slightly conceptual for this beast. I would like to cast...
I'd like to cast large hook and big fish.
No, as in,
I'd like
I
to
would
cast...
like to-
Can I cast carp?
That's what it's scared of. It's scared of a giant
scared of a
fish.
giant
Don't eat it.
fish.
I would like to cast on a worm Tasha's hideous laughter.
Interesting. Very good. Okay, wisdom save or constitution save?
Wisdom 13.
Wisdom 13. It rolls a 16, becomes more than that. I don't want to let you know what its save is. It rolls a 16 on the die.
In that case, then, I am going to click my heels. That is 5 turns. I'm going to click my
nice.
heels, and I would like to try and move back and find a position of that I could. Is there anything?
I'm going to say
reasonable?
absolutely. Like I've described lots of rubble in this place.
yeah, great.
So essentially, this I'm going to try and do this in a reflective way. So this is going to be very strange from my head. You're up at about. They're up sort of between 10 and 11 on the clock is where this rubble is. In the centre, just slightly knocked off 60 feet back, is the dais, which will take you about 75 feet from the creature. And there are also, at intervals, these dilapidated columns that I described that were once supporting the ceiling that
I'll
has
go
now
for
caved
one of the
in.
columns.
Okay. Do you want to move left towards the edge or right towards the centre?
Right towards the centre.
Right towards the centre. Absolutely.
I'd like to try and hide behind it.
Great.
That is 21.
21. 21 beats its passive perception.
20.
Is that is Dolly's turn.
Gonna just look. This thing's just erupted out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, I'm so not in the mood for this today. You should have stuck to Hunting Gloam. Casting Dissonant Whispers at level 3.
Nice.
It's a Wisdom save.
Okay. That's a 13.
That's a fail. So it is now going to take 3d6 psychic damage, and it must use its reaction, if available, to move as far away from me as possible.
Okay.
Very scary.
Interesting.
Cocked. I'll roll that again. 4. So that's 11 psychic damage.
Okay.
And yes, it must move away from me.
Okay.
And then I'm also gonna Dandelion and be like, "You're up, have fun," and cast Bardic Inspiration.
It's going to it's going to use its reaction to it. It. I'm trying to think of how to interpret this because it has 2 different ways of moving. It starts to back. It kind of backs up and starts to slide. It slides over the pile of rubble and then sort of round, almost as if it's trying to cling to the side of the wall. So what effectively it's going to do is it's going to move from 11 o'clock. It moves round to 7 o'clock, skirting round the outside of the wall to try and stay as far away from you as possible. So it's now behind all of you.
Can it hear?
It has tremor sense and blind sight. I'm going to say it can sense vibrations.
Just because, for full transparency, it says here a deafened creature automatically succeeds on the save.
It has no languages. It cannot speak. I am going to say...
That sound is vibration.
Yes, but I suppose the nature of that spell is...
It doesn't say, yeah, but it doesn't say, like, it needs to understand you, just that it's not
Great.
deaf.
It's not, it doesn't have the condition deaf.
Well, then, there we go. It's fine.
Okay.
Great. That is Elowen's turn. It's now moved 30 feet, sort of diagonally behind you,
Okay.
to your left.
It's within range, so I'm going to hit it.
Okay.
Can you shout what you've written in Elowen's diary?
It's worm time.
It's worm time.
And I drew a little worm picture.
It's worm.
I'm always excited because then Harry shows me what it actually looks like in the monster manual, and Holly is so far off.
I don't think you are on this so
Actually,
much.
that's pretty good.
It's really good.
It's this
Oh,
great
is it?
big. It's a great big segmented worm with spikes all across its back and across each of its sort of, I don't know, sides, with a huge mouth of jagged teeth.
Close enough.
They almost look the
toothy
colour
more?
of bone. I'm always trying not to say
Say
toothy
toothy
more
more.
because I wouldn't dare step on someone else's IP.
Well, this is, it's a 17.
A 17. That hits.
Ah, that's what I like to hear. And that hits for 6.
6.
And then that is a 24.
Hits.
And that hits for 8.
Carving this thing.
And then that is a like a 25.
Yep.
And then that hits for 8.
Yep.
And then I'll go again
Okay.
because I can.
You're going to action surge.
Yep.
Action surge, baby!
Can you say it's worm times 2?
It's worms time 2. That was a nat 1 though.
It's
so
Worms
that's
2.
not
A
great.
great game.
Really good.
A
Oh my god!
great
And I'm
game.
going to roll bardic on that as well. So that makes that a 9 plus a 9, so that's an 18.
Hits. Good use of Bardic.
Well done.
And that hits for 6.
Okay.
Is my go.
He good.
Was that swords? Or was that bow?
Swords.
That
I'm
was
right.
swords.
I'm,
Cool.
I'm
Right,
right.
you're right.
I'm next
right
to
up
it,
in the
yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Right up in the business. That is Yu's turn.
Use turn.
Yeah, I didn't hit it with slow.
Yeah, I'm gonna, or Yu's gonna fly close, kind of skirting the edge of like what would be the worm's reach. So I'm not gonna go into the worm's reach right now, knowing that
Yep.
Elowen is there. Not gonna risk because it's once he's hit, he's basically gone. Yeah, that's it. It's just I think near Elowen, above Elowen, kind of like that side of the worm.
Okay. I'll trust you to hold that in your head because it's
Yeah.
too abstract a concept
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
But that is Yu's turn. That is Parvis's turn. What
do some cool
has
shit, Parvis.
Parvis got?
He's got
as
his
a-
little collar on, so he can't do anything.
He can't do any big spells, but he can do.
Go on, buff
A
the party.
dance.
He can do a little buff. Who's still with him? I guess no one. He is going to. He's going to just try and do some fire damage on this thing.
Cute.
He reaches out his clawed hand, and a jet of flame explodes from it. Flame-like radiance descending on this worm that makes a dex save, which it passes. They take no damage, unfortunately.
What a waste of turn, Parvis.
That is the worm's turn. Elowen, you are right there
Yeah.
with it. It makes a bite attack on you. That is a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Silvery barbs. Why not?
I love it when she's not talking to Radian because I get everything.
That is a 9 plus 5. No, sorry, that is a 9 plus 6, which is a 15. He has to re-roll.
What?
Does
What's your
15 hit you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Sorry, I've never had silvery bubbles. I never get it used on me.
Okay.
And yeah, you have advantage on your next roll.
Okay.
That's good, because I can start with it there.
So it's
Start with
what
advantage.
you see. It's appropriately for silvery barbs in this moment is that its huge toothy maw opens to engulf you, and you see almost like spectral hooks that reach into the side of its mouth and pull it back just at the point at which it's going to go over you.
Nope.
And I just shout back, thanks for that one.
And it's going to use its. It's going to go for you with its tail stinger. It rolls a nat 1 on its first. That will hit you, though. That's a 21. That is 15 piercing damage. Can you roll me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yeah, it's a nat 20.
You are not blighted.
Not this time.
You do take a little more damage. You take half of this, and I rolled really badly, so you take 2 points of necrotic damage in addition
17
to
in
that.
total.
At the end of its turn, it is going to burrow down into the rock. It just starts to eat its way down into the floor of the hall. That is...
May I interrupt you, which is at the end of its turn, it must take another wisdom saving throw.
Or take the thing.
So,
Let me
yeah.
handle its movement, and then absolutely I'll do that. It burrows down into the rock 10 feet and essentially tries to stay down in there in order to not take any more damage. You, however, will get, if you haven't used your reaction, it is moving out of your space, so you do get an opportunity attack on it.
Absolutely. Remember you have advantage.
Which I roll with advantage, which is a natural 20.
Nice!
Let's see. So that would be, that's a 2 plus a 3, that's a 5 plus a 6. That hits for 11.
11.
And I take both attacks, right? 'Cause
No, it's just
opportun-
one.
well, one attack.
It's it's I think an opportunity attack is just one. Now, what I would like to know, which you can look up in while this is happening, because you've technically used your Vex property. I don't know whether you now have advantage on your first roll. Does
I
it
don't.
not carry across the turn?
No, it doesn't carry across the turn. I know
very
that
good,
much.
very
yeah.
good. Thank you for doing your homework. So now it needs to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
That's a 9.
So it fails, so it takes the full force of psychic damage again.
Mm-hmm. So that's 4d10, right?
Yes. It also, I believe, for the duration, the target must take a wisdom saving throw at the end of each turn. On a failed save, it takes a psychic damage again. On a successful save, the spell ends.
Just damage, then it won't be any other effect.
Great.
Yeah. Double check.
So make you can roll that. Is it 4d10?
4d10.
Nice.
Oh, take whatever you need.
Very nice.
There's 2 percentiles there. If you can just
Yeah, I'll do my
you figure
percentiles
that
as well.
out. Smart boy.
That does 13. It's not as good. It's an 18.
An 8. Yeah, but it takes all of it. Last
Yeah.
time it only took half.
18.
18.
Before the end of my next turn.
18 on 40-10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of...
I mean, the average is only 20.
Sorry, Harry, it's before the end of my next turn.
Yeah, so you do
I
get
will start
advantage
with
on your.
advantage on
You'll
my
start with
next roll.
advantage on your next roll. That is back to the top of the order. That is Kelnis's turn. This thing is now 50. It's 50 feet away from you.
But it's burrowed down, right?
Yes, but
Can we still see it? It's only
no,
sort of
it's burrowed down underneath the ground. You can hold an action and wait for it to come back up.
I've already held an action. I want to do
Yeah, I want to do something, please.
Yeah.
It's still within. If you have a ranged spell which causes an area of effect, you can still target that area of effect.
Looks for the hinges.
So it was
How
at.
far is Elowen from this burrowed worm?
She's right next
I'm
to
in
the
the hole,
burrow.
like,
She's sort of stood at the edge of the hole. Hello? Is anyone alive down there? Can anyone hear me?
I can't see it.
You can't see it. No, you know where it is. It was at 11 o'clock. It used all of its movement, which was 50 feet, to move away from Dolly. You were right next to Dolly, so I'm going to say it moved essentially 50 feet away from you, as much as its movement allowed. And then it burrowed down 10 feet into the earth.
10 feet.
Yeah.
Is soil covering it, or is it just...
No, it's just like an open... It's like it's kind of pushed more stone like back into the space.
So this thing, it can't see, so it knows where we are by tremor, right? So if you're stomping around, it would know if you've moved. But if you moved...
I mean, I guess you guys wouldn't necessarily know that this thing has tremor sense. That was just me explaining something. Yeah, that is a little bit metagamey, I'm afraid.
Can't shoot at it with my new longbow. Can I cast a spell that would actually... If I cast a spell, would it actually go into the hole?
Okay, so there are two types of spells. There's a spell which requires you to make an attack roll, which would mean you'd need to be able to see it because you need to see what you're targeting. However, if you have a spell that is like everything within a 30-foot sphere or everything within at a point you see within range, then you could target it over the hole, knowing that 10 feet down, it would be within that range.
Little worm.
Little worm.
Little worm. Excuse me, little worm.
I think there's not a whole lot I can do, to be honest. I'm just going to... I'm going to call Hank forward.
Okay.
Call Hank forth.
Okay.
And I'm also going to move...
As close as you can.
Yeah, as close as I can to Elowen.
30 feet. So you can move 20 feet away from Elowen. You move 20 feet away from Elowen, and
a bitch a heel, but never mind.
And Hank comes forth in a little shower of fire and
happiness.
Happiness. I mean, there's a moment where everyone goes,
to be here.
"Oh, it's just so nice that Hank's here.
So nice.
It's really nice.
It's like when you come home and like the dogs are good.
He is
happy
adorable.
To see you.
He is lovely. Is this your son?
This is Monkey?
Yeah, I believe so. That is Radian's turn.
Sweet. Look, great, because I'm doing, obviously, this is, you're teaching me how to, it's a silly thing.
It's okay, you can ask.
No, I'm concentrating, but I can still do spells that don't require concentration.
Absolutely. So you can only maintain concentration on one spell at a time, and you have to maintain that concentration through Constitution saving throws.
Does that ever get better as you level up, or is that just always a constant?
I think there might be. I mean, there are certain.
Sorry, that's a silly question to ask now.
You can do little homebrew magic items. I don't know off the top of my head if certain subclasses maybe get an ability to hold concentration on more than one spell at a time. But if you do, it's kind of amazing because you can be, you could cast slow on someone and haste on someone else at the same time, and you're buffing and really controlling.
And he's 10 feet down in that little hole.
He's 10 feet down in that little hole, and at the moment, you were right next to where Dolly and Kelis were?
Pretty close.
Yeah. So I'm going to say let's say you're 5 feet further back, so you're 45 feet from the hole at the moment.
If I was to move towards the hole, would I have enough skill in order to fire something into the hole?
If it requires you to target a creature, I don't know how you would see down into it and see the creature from 45 feet away. Again, if it's an area of effect spell, I would say you could kind of place it over that hole.
Yeah, I just want to fire some shit into the hole.
I feel like Kelis was vibing the same thing.
I want to.
It's essentially you're both going down that gully at the end of A New Hope, trying to get close enough to fire your little rockets into just a hole in the ship.
I want to fire some stuff into a hole. I want to fire chromatic orb into a hole.
I don't see how you would be able to overcome it. I mean, a 10-foot drop is taller than the ceiling that we have in here. I don't think you can target with it's essentially you're in the same situation as Kelis. It wouldn't feel fair for me to go, yeah, Radian can do it, but Kelis can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said seething.
And he's in his little hole, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still. You know what? He's still in the hole. Actually, I know we've chatted for a while, but I just want to confirm to anyone who's listening or watching, he's still in the hole.
Could you I just want to know, he's in the hole, right? That's where he is. Great.
Let me consult my notes.
Yeah.
He is in the hole. Yes,
he's in the hole.
He's in the hole. I can, if this is useful, I can I can show you a little map.
Yeah.
So this is ignore this. This doesn't exist anymore. But there's like a little dais. This is the area of pulverized rubble. He's kind of moved around to here. I is behind. I didn't draw the pillars on. These are the symbols. So he's kind of around in this area, around the sort of 8 o'clock mark.
Would I be able to jump in the hole?
I don't think you can reach. You're 15 feet away. Describe a long jump to me in fact, I can bring that up. You've got the player's handbook. We can get
You said he was 45 feet away now?
He was 45 feet away. He's used 35 feet of movement.
Yeah, 'cause he's elf boy.
So you're 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
What's your long jump?
This is so stupid. It's really stupid.
You can run at least 10 feet before jumping. This is so funny. Oh, no, you don't have any movement left. So what you can do, each feet of jumping costs 1 foot of movement. And I really love the idea that you take a big run up, you try to jump, but you're so exhausted that you essentially just jump. That's the most wizard thing.
The thing is, though, I'm not tired because I really want to get there.
No, you're right. You've convinced me. So running long jump, character runs at least 10 feet before jumping, which you have. A character can jump a distance equal to their strength score in feet. Each, which is a lot. Strength score is a huge amount.
Well, score is in like 20.
Yeah, like 20 feet. So they're incredible jumpers.
So what I really want to do,
I mean, you're not going to be able to do it, but you can describe it.
what I'd really love to try and do is jump across the hole, and as I'm doing it,
Absolutely not. Absolutely. Listen, I know this game has rules, but I don't think you understand how cool my idea is. So here's what I'm saying to you, and I'm saying it as clearly as I dare. You have 35 feet of movement. You used it all. You are 10 feet from the hole.
A cool image, though.
It's such a cool image, and I would love you to do it on your next turn. You can't do it on this one.
I've all 35 feet of movement, and
Just ignores me and says, and I jump over the hole. I've already rolled my attack.
I tried to jump over the hole.
He does a little hop.
It looks absolutely incredible.
He jumps directly up in the air, less than 1 foot, because he hasn't got any movement
And he's
left.
so disappointed he can't do anything.
Yeah.
How close am I? I can't get to those dead bodies, can I? I can't get to those dead bodies, can I?
No, you just moved away from them. You just moved away from them, so you've
I
run
move
35
back to the dead
feet.
bodies and I go, I'm joking, guys. Oh my God. I move over and I'm going to hold my action.
Okay. What are you holding your action for, and what is the triggering event? And what is your action going to be?
When he comes out from the
Disgusting.
hole, I'm going to start blasting.
And I need to know exactly what you're going to cast.
Chromatic orb.
You're going to chromatic orb him when he emerges from the hole.
Oh, my boy.
Before the start of your next turn.
Yeah.
Great. That is I's turn.
This big dome ceiling.
Yes.
Is there anything like fragile? Is it looking fragile? Is there any part of it which is like something?
Tell me what you're hoping to do, and let me see if I can help you
something
to
that
do it.
could be dislodged that might cause falling damage.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. I think that's really cool.
Squish the wall.
I'm going to say, here's how action economy works. Technically, in order for you to make a really good assessment and to be foolproof, you will need to use your action.
Yeah.
If you want to chance it, I will say you can make an attack on the ceiling. You will then roll a luck check to see whether or not it falls, and how accurately it falls.
So I would like to use my action to take a proper good look to see.
Okay.
Full action.
Roll me an investigation check.
That is a 21.
21. I would say you are aware that you've spent enough time in this city now that what you've essentially established is, as is emblematic in the fact that you managed to pass unnoticed all the way along that large, elaborate walkway.
Without a trace, you might say.
Without it, with nary a trace, milady. Can we get milady out of everything? I don't think anyone should ever say milady. So, I will say that what you're able to discern is that the areas of the stone that makes up this city, of which this ceiling is part of that city, where there are areas that are very powdery, and a powdery area is typically more prone to collapse than an area that looks like it has more structural integrity. And as you look up, you see that the ceiling is sort of almost like a map. There are areas of it which look powdery, areas of it which look more structurally sound. I will say that wherever it is for the rest of the combat, you will be able to, with this, having used an action to investigate the ceiling, you will be able to discern whether or not it is a good use of your of your resources to do so. But this will have like a reasonably high AC. It is a ceiling after all, and it will be dependent on the power with which you're attacking it. Does that make sense? So a leveled spell would be more likely to get through it than a cantrip would.
Should have taken a rest.
Just for full transparency, that's how this is going to work.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to relay this general sentiment to the team.
Okay. What you can't do is give them the map, but you can tell them that that's your plan.
Yeah. In a sense, basically say, heads up.
Yeah. Everyone looks up, nothing happens.
For in a moment, heads up.
I relay that I intend to try and bring some bits down.
Ceiling down.
Yeah.
Great. Dolly, that's your turn.
What?
Which they hear from the shadows because I've not come out of hiding.
Yeah, you're still not out of hiding.
I'm going to throw a second level healing word at Elowen.
Thank you.
2d4 plus 4. Where are they? 4. That is 9.
Sweet.
And then I'm gonna be like this, right? With the thumb?
Just like that.
And I'm gonna hold my action. I'm gonna adopt a defensive stance, and if the worm comes anywhere near me, I'm gonna stab it.
Yep. Great. That is Elowen's turn.
So
You are right next to it.
So I'm actually going to try and fire an arrow down this hole.
With advantage.
Yes, if that's... I'm not jumping in.
Jump over.
One time.
I mean, you could do a running. You could take 5 feet back, do a running jump over the hole, shoot your arrow down, and land on the other side.
Legolas.
No.
Why would I
Dumb idea.
overcomplicate this?
Stupid idea. That's a 21 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
And that hits for 9.
9.
And I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
That hits. That's a 16 to hit.
That just hits.
Oh, lovely. Always good to know. And that hits for 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
And then I'm going to use Second Wind and move 15 feet back. No, I'm going to move 45 feet back. I'm going to go to Dolly.
45?
Because I can take my full 30 plus my 15.
Nice.
And I can also heal myself for 1d10 plus 7.
But you're...
Oh, as close to Dolly as I can then.
Oh, yeah, you stayed where you are.
Yeah.
I did.
It's 50 feet away from you. You're holding a reaction to stab it if it comes near you or when it comes out the hole?
Not when it comes near the hole, just if it comes near me.
Okay, understood. Because I'm
Just like, listen, it's a big fucking worm. I don't know what it's going to do.
And that heals me for 16.
16, nice. Let's go
I'm not throwing
for...
myself in the hole.
Let's,
Right!
You're doing that.
let's go for
Stupid
you.
idea.
It can come up anywhere.
I'm just picturing Dolly if it was a computer game. Dolly is stood in the middle of the map just doing this with the mouse. Just like turning. I would like you to fly underneath. If I've worked out what the map, I'd like you to fly where you would see fit to a space
My
underneath.
second wind.
To a space underneath the safe area.
No,
Okay.
a fragile area.
Okay.
With the intent of hopefully, if the worm might want to attack you, it would draw
cool.
him underneath.
Great, because I thought you were trying to use it to give you 5 feet to give you advantage on a shot against the ceiling, and I was like, nah, that's not.
Hopefully
that's
this
not the thing.
worm might go,
Yeah.
I'll go for that thing,
Cool.
and then it's underneath.
Okay. Yeah. You can instruct you to try and sort of draw fire if you like, an anti-dodge, if you will. Great. That is Parvis's turn. Parvis is still pretty much alone. What can Parvis do? Parvis is going to run to Elowen, and he says, "It is not much, but it is all I can do." And he touches you on the shoulder, and you can reduce any piercing damage by 1d4 while he maintains concentration.
I was saying while he maintains contact.
Well, I cannot emphasize this may not end up being useful. He's clinging to your shoulder.
What if with you
No, you don't understand. It's not I'm very wise. That is the worm's turn.
It always is.
It always is. What is this worm hoping to achieve?
What is its aspirations, its hopes and dreams?
Let's say that
It's been studying to become an archaeologist.
have you moved, Cal?
I moved towards Elowen, and if I'm correct, I think I'm 20 feet
Great.
from the hole.
No one
Let's
hits
have
the hole.
let's have everyone who moved in the last round, which is I think everyone apart from No, Dolly didn't move.
Yeah.
Let's have everyone. Let's see whose footsteps were the loudest, and who the purple worm is attracted to.
What are we rolling?
Just roll
Physically.
with nothing. No modifier. What's the number everyone got? What did you get, Kel? 12.
18.
18.
4.
And a 9 for Parvis. Let's see which one he rolls closest to. A 12.
That's spot on me.
Spot on, Cal.
He comes up right underneath.
Right up
You're
underneath.
gone.
So,
Just swallowed whole.
this right up underneath your bum. Did you say?
No! I said you're gone!
I think when he comes right up underneath your bum, swallowed
He
whole.
eats you starting with your bottom.
He eats you ass first.
That's the mouse.
And you're not entirely sure you don't like it, then it becomes very apparent you don't like it. Shoulders back. So
Another thing, you'll get in the BTS in 4 to 5 months' time.
here's what I'm going to say it's going to do. I'm going to have it. It's going to try and sort of essentially emerge and engulf you. I'm going to have it because this is tremor sense. It's moving through rock. It has 30 feet that it can. Only 20 feet that it can burrow, so it can't get to you. How far away from it were you? 20 feet, did we say?
20 feet from the
20
hole.
feet, exactly what it needs. It needs 20 to go, and it needs.
No, it
10
can't.
to
It got
burrow.
hit with my arrows. It's slowed. It's only got 10 feet of movement.
In that case, all its plans are
Pay it back
stymied,
later.
and all it's going to do is just erupt out of the hole that it last made, just
Very
in
slowly.
in exactly the same place.
You just lost D&D.
It's lost. It has 40 feet. It has 50-foot speed, so it now has a 40-foot speed. So it's just going to try and slither towards Kel. You were the steps that attracted it, but that will take it into and out of Elowen's movement, Elowen's space. So you
gets
can
an
make
opportunity
an opportunity attack. This thing isn't planning. It's not a big planner.
It hits for 16.
Exactly hits
And then it hits for 7.
7. Okay.
And then I get and then I get Vex on that. So when I start next time,
It's going to take its bite attack on you, Cal. That is a 25. Rolled a 19.
how close to me is Kel?
20 feet from you.
Oh yeah,
You
never
were
mind.
on the edge of the. You're on the edge of the thingy, which is 9 plus 6 is 15 piercing damage. I would like you to roll me a dexter.
I cast Spiny Shield.
Tell me about
It's a
this.
reaction.
Yeah.
Spiny Shield, come back to me. Why aren't you moving?
He's on to Hank.
As Doug Cockle struggles manfully with technology. More when we return.
That's what he goes like, oh, it's already done. Zoomed in again.
I lost it. Where is it? Spiny Shield. It's
As
a
the
reaction.
Minister for Ships.
You cast it on
a
yourself.
pin. Okay.
An ethereal barrier of spikes made of magical force interposes itself between you and an attacker. Until your next turn, when you are hit by a melee attack, the barrier reduces the damage you are dealt by 2d4 and deals the same amount of damage, piercing damage, to the attacker.
I can't remember the number I said at this point. I thought it...
25, wasn't it?
No,
that was what it hit for.
The damage.
The damage, you were just working it out. It was
okay.
15.
I just picked the damage.
Plus something.
15 plus 6 is 21.
21.
21, which you now reduce by
2d4.
2d4, and it gets the same amount of damage.
5.
Okay. So that 21 becomes a 16 for you, and it gets 5 piercing damage.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
That's a
good
really
spell.
cool spell.
Isn't that cool?
It's got a great
I am
visual
going
to
to
it.
give you...
Wait, how much damage did I take?
16.
16.
Well, it was 21, it was reduced by 5, yeah, so 16. I am, because of that, it goes to bite into you and then it has this strange kind of pain in its mouth. I'm going to say you can roll this dexterity saving throw with advantage.
I think eventually it will learn just to not bite us.
Yeah. Silly worm.
That's a 12. No, 11.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Kelis is swallowed. While swallowed, you have total coverage against attacks and other effects. That's all you know at the moment.
I have total coverage.
You can't be attacked while inside it.
Oh.
Basically, if I attack
'cause
it
I'm
now,
being
I'm not
digested.
hurting you.
Yes.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Kel disappears.
Yeah.
Kel, this thing opens up this mouth, engulfs him, and Kel is gone. You hear.
Question.
Yes.
Technically, he's within 5 feet now, but it's not going to give me any.
Technically,
Advantage.
is he incapacitated?
Because is there some sort of struggle in there?
Blinded or restrained? I'm going to say, yeah.
Because if he's got something
That's
inside
really
it
funny.
that's like-
Does
I'm going to say, for the purposes of this, he does not grant you sneak attack damage. That's too silly.
Oh, right, yeah.
Did you want to ask something?
Oh, he's about to take a shitload of damage from me, so...
Yes, absolutely. So he has emerged. You can use your
Chromatic Orb level 3.
Level 3, okay.
So that is 5d.
You got to hit first, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
The confidence with which he said that now is...
I like the E. I'm not going to say it.
No, just... It is... Yeah, it's a roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
15.
That just misses.
But it doesn't matter because he finished the end of his turn anyway, right? Has he finished his turn?
Has he finished his turn?
Yeah, he's done his turn.
No, he hasn't yet.
Okay.
He is going to fling a tail stinger. He has a stingy tail at Elowen. The first one is I'm rolling very well on these. That is a 25 to hit.
Yep.
I rolled badly on the damage, 9 piercing.
Okay.
And then roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's not great. That is a 10.
You are blighted.
Oh, for God's sake, again.
And you are therefore going to take all of this damage, and I rolled well on that. That's 15 necrotic damage.
Cool. The stinger itself.
Yeah.
That's piercing.
Piercing.
So
You can reduce that by a d4.
which is only a 1, so whatever. So that's an 8, and then minus the additional 15, right?
Yeah. It's going to then... I'm trying to think who else is particularly close to it.
Can I fire some stuff at it?
Yeah, why not? That's a 22. You cannot be blighted, but you will take 14 points of piercing damage, and then you have resistance to necrotic, right? Mm-hmm. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
23.
So that would be halved. I rolled 15, halved to 7. You take half, 3. 3 necrotic.
It's very lucky because that stopped my concentration because it just hit me.
Roll me a saving throw, which is equal to 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher. How much damage did you take in total?
17.
So a DC 10. Mm-hmm. DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Con save.
Yeah.
11.
Okay, you pass. You just pass.
So I don't lose concentration?
You don't lose concentration, so it takes 4d10 psychic damage at the end of its turn.
Good spell.
Need one?
I've got them.
Oh, you got them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you can use the centaurs.
20.
20.
That's nice.
Amazing. Does it need to make a save? It makes a save at the. Does it make a save at the end of the turn, or does it just take that damage?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
On a failed save.
So let's see if it fails, because if it'll either take 10 or 20. That's a 6, becomes a 14.
Against my...
Oh, is it a wisdom or a constitution?
It's wisdom.
Oh, it becomes a 9. Takes from 20.
Nice.
At the end, let me just check this. Cool. Nothing is going to happen to Kel yet.
Yes.
Kelnis, that is your turn. You are inside this creature. You are blinded and restrained, which means you can make melee attacks, but you would do so with disadvantage.
I can cast spells?
You can cast... I'm gonna say... Let me just check something. Blinded. You fail any ability checks that require sight. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and yours have disadvantage. And then restrained, speed becomes 0. Advantage. Yeah, I'm going to say you can attack with you can roll an attack with disadvantage if your spell has any kind of somatic component, meaning that you need to make a gesture. It will require you to either make that roll with disadvantage, or it will do the save with advantage, I think is what I'm going to say. Because it's very hard to contort your body in the way that you would need to do these gestures for magic.
Okay. I'm looking through all the spells now going, what's somatic?
So next to components, it'll say
I can
VSM.
see
Oh,
it.
right.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay, I'm
just
sorry.
going
You're trying to figure out which one
He's
doesn't use it.
himself.
Yeah.
I'm using out loud.
Okay. I'm going to cast Burning Hands, which is a deck save.
Cool. I'm actually not going to say, I don't understand why it would make, and what are the components of it? Does it have a somatic component?
It's verbal and somatic.
Okay. I'm going to say, I don't see how it would have advantage on a save while you're doing it from inside its body.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that it will just roll this dexterity saving throw flat. It has a -2 to dex. It rolled a 10. That becomes an 8.
Awesome. So that's 3d6 fire damage. And because I have an enhanced bond with Hank, who is inside with me, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you were in the same... You never said you weren't in the same space. I'm
Yeah,
going to say that you get
he's with
swallowed
me.
together.
Then that gives me 1d8 of extra fire damage.
So 3d6 and 1d8.
Nice.
3d6.
It's possible. Probably not now.
That's 11. That's an extra 7, so that's 18 damage. And then Hank, I can't teleport because I can't see a place to teleport to. But Hank does a flaming seed attack,
Okay.
which I believe is 2d6 fire damage.
That was 18, did you say, on the previous?
17.
17.
1d6 plus 3 fire damage. I can't miss. I'm inside. He can't miss. It's a ranged attack, but
Roll. I think here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you roll because it might be in a position where his face is so smushed up against the inside of this worm.
okay.
Smushy face.
10.
10.
10? Yeah, 10.
10. That does not do it. No damage from Hank on this round, but you
Performance
are
anxiety.
both,
It's to be expected when you're outside.
but you are both
Jimmy.
still in there together. That is Radian's turn.
How you doing in there, Cal? Great. I'm annoyed I didn't. Chromatic Orb didn't work, so I'm going to go again. Level 3.
Okay.
Uh, 17.
Yeah.
No, 15. Sorry.
Just misses.
There you go.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Breaks.
That's your turn.
Was it a luck check if it was underneath? Was it luck if it was going to actually bring something down?
No, that would be if you hadn't assessed the ceiling.
Yeah.
You've assessed the ceiling. You know whether or not it is... I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll give you a luck check with advantage because it's now about the positioning of the worm, not about your understanding of it. Yeah, so a luck check with advantage and we'll say anything higher than an 8.
Well, that is an 8 and a 13.
Okay, yeah, so this is under a spot.
Okay.
I'm going to remind you that I did 2d6 of falling masonry originally. That was for bits that were flying through the air. I will call this... I'll call this 3d8. I'll say it's twice as much.
It's all glass and stuff, isn't it? So.
See, it's tough because there is a chance I could do way more with my crossbow.
Then do something cool.
I'm gonna take a shot at the masonry. To
With
try and
what?
Bring it down with my crossbow. Is that going to be enough, or is it not?
You can try. It is a bolt going into stone.
This is Okay, I'm going to relay the information that it's underneath a fragile bit of ceiling as I take a shot with my crossbow.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Because I feel like that's handy information for the group if anyone is not in a position to
Yeah. So if it doesn't move, it's under a vulnerable bit of of
Are you?
ceiling.
But you're not shooting. At
I'm not shooting. I'm shooting at it with my crossbow. That is a 21.
Hits.
I'm going to go 1d8 plus 6. That's a 2, so that's an 8. And then I am hidden. So, 46 for sneak attack. One is cocked.
One is cocked. Right on a 6 as well.
5, 9, 13, 16 for the sneak attack.
For the sneak attack.
And I'm going to relay the information. They briefly know where that sound is coming from as I shout it coming out behind the pillar. And then I would like to try and hide behind the pillar again.
Absolutely. Roll me a stealth check. In fact, as long as you avoid a nat 1, this thing's passive perception is 9.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That is Dolly's turn.
Spit him out right now. I'm going to cast Shatter at level 3.
Great.
Which is con save.
That's within an area, right? That's going to affect Kel and Hank.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Constitution saving... Is it Constitution saving throw? Constitution saving throw from the worm. Constitution saving throw from Kelnis. And can you make one for Hank as well,
She
please?
really wants some PE today, isn't she?
You're going to test. This is going to.
So if you look at if you look at Hank's little stats, just add his Constitution modifier to a roll. This thing
Doesn't have a Constitution modifier.
I think he will have scores.
Just has an armor class.
Let me have a look. Let's have a little look.
Well, let's get them Hank stats up.
Let's get Wildfire Spirit stat block. It has a +2. So there you go. So you have a +2 for the roll for Hank.
Oh, is that in the player's handbook?
I'm looking. I've just Googled Wildfire Spirit Druid. I don't think it will be in that player's handbook because Circle of Wildfire is not in there.
You're absolutely correct.
But I'm looking at it, and you have a +2.
Cool. Okay, so
It can't be restrained, so you should have had advantage. You should have been able to roll that flat, but we'll know next time.
we know. We live and we learn.
Constitution saving throw, +2 for Hank.
I was rolling for me, but
Okay, fine, yeah.
that's a 21.
21 for you.
21.
21. The worm
It's safe in this
the
worm
worm
belly.
gets a 16.
Okay, so everyone passes,
Okay.
but that's still half 3d8 thunder damage. Or what did I say? Level 3?
You did say level 3.
Okay, so it's actually 4d8.
What's your DC? Is it 16?
15.
15.
Yeah. 1. 4, It's 10, so half.
Half, so it takes 5.
And I take 5 as well.
You
don't
take
I?
5, and Hank takes
take
5. And
5.
Hank, how many HP does Hank have?
40.
40.
Do you want to Cal? Believe Hank alone.
That's what he's beefier than I am.
Wait, he's got more HP than like
Hank
Radian.
is something plus character level or something, isn't it? Something time your
Yeah.
character level. Yeah. Hank can calm down. Hank can chill a little, guys. There's some of us who are really struggling out here. Yeah, 5 plus 5 times your druid level is what Hank has.
Cal, if you're in there, don't go towards the light. I'm casting Bardic Inspiration on him. Sorry.
That's Elowen's turn.
Oh my god, I'm gonna hit this thing.
Yeah.
And that is a nat 20.
Okay.
So that hits for 6, plus 2, so it hits for 8. That is I can roll that twice. That is an 18 plus a 9.
27.
So that hits for 6. And then it's. And that hits for that's 18 plus a something. And that hits for 9.
Yes.
Elowen. Tell me about it.
Dolly, it's like this. And it's almost like I jump up. It is like trying to unzip something. It is straight. It is mouth to ass. It is chest.
Mouth to ass.
It is top to bottom. Doesn't have a nose.
You know, like those really hipster restaurants that say they embrace mouth to ass cookery.
Where they only serve small plates.
We only serve small plates, and we have a mouth to ass philosophy here. So please be aware there will be some choice cuts. You may encounter some things you're not used to, but after all, we are mouth to ass.
I'm just gonna open up a doorway for Kel.
You watch as this.
The birthing of Kel.
As this thing like twists and shudders like an earthworm that has been cut in half, and it's sort of twitching and thrashing. And as you do so, each one of it, more and more of its movement creates this seam, this emerging seam as you tear through it, and Kel and Hank spill out.
I rush after Hank.
Onto the floor. Hank! And you are out of combat.
You flies down to check on Hank.
How's Hank doing, Kel?
He's doing all right.
They said pushing Kel out the way. Get out of here, you brute. Speak to me, Hank.
Hank's like, cradling one paw.
Oh.
Fucking blighted.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome back to the club.
I nearly got digested by a fucking worm.
Yeah, but you didn't thanks to me, but I'm blighted again.
I feels left out.
Let's just make this worth it. Let's find the entrance.
Okay. What are you trying to do in order to find this entrance? Tell me what you're looking at. Tell me what you're trying to take in. Tell me what you want to do.
Well, I think first thing is to turn to Parvis and say,
What does you know?
I'm going to have him roll history on this because I think he knows the location. He knows that this is how you get in. We're going to establish how much he knows about the mechanics by which you enter. He rolls a 19 on the die. His history is 6. So he rolls a 25. He says, There is a symbol.
and I run straight to themself.
The symbol of
Symbol of
themself.
themself.
The circle of themself on the floor.
Yep.
Roll me an investigation check.
19.
19. You see that these other symbols that have been mosaicked or painted on the floor, much like the murals in those non-collapsed sections of wall and ceiling, they have faded. The colours and the vibrancy of even the symbols of the virtuous have faded. There's the sword of Aurum looks almost like an outline that's been rubbed out, that's been smudged. The circle of themselves seems strong and seems more vibrant than the others. You touch it with your hands, and you feel that beneath the circle there is a divot, like a small carving. And you examining it and then sort of looking at it, it's in the shape of a drop of liquid, like a teardrop or a blood drop.
I is going to pull out his knife. Just do a little slice.
Mm-hmm.
And try and drip some blood.
You drip a drop of blood into that.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
What the hell have you just done?
Ow.
What did you do that for?
Ow. I think this is the way, but
The rest of you roll investigation checks. I'm going to have Parvis roll as well. Parvis rolled a nat 1. Parvis rolled a nat 1.
Can I turn to Bob and say,
is this the only way into this room?
this starter points to the door.
And he points to the many holes in the wall and says, "It was."
So, like, even like that, the gloam could fit through any of the holes that sort of lead in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did everyone get on investigation? Let's start with Radian.
25.
25.
8.
8.
12.
12.
15.
15. Okay. Only Radian with the 25. You're looking at the pillars, and you're looking at the space around you. And yes, it's decaying and crumbling, but there are some markings on these pillars, very slight, very small, but they look intentional.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they have been actively placed there rather than there by chance or circumstance. You don't recognize them or understand them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to point them out to the rest of the group. What are these? Here.
These are kobold markings. They're the types of markings that tribes would leave on trees.
Okay. And I find like a little smile and goes,
I can read these.
Roll me an investigation check with advantage. Parvis is going to do the same thing. Parvis got a 15.
10.
10 from I.
But I is tired. It's
You only recognize one straight away. It's the symbol of your tribe. It's the symbol that your tribe would carve into a tree or a rock known only to kobolds. It would be in that very specific system of language when kobolds are looking to trade or looking to meet. There would be a mark to indicate the tribe, and then there would be a mark to indicate what the tribe was looking to do. Mm-hmm. And you see yours straight away. What does it look like?
So I'm going to say that it's a sort of similar circle to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a cross running through the circle.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
It's so close to a wheel. I love that so much. Yeah.
I guess I've accidentally just kind of, like if you were to, I've kind of drawn a target sort of.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that makes
yeah.
sense.
Just,
Oh, we're going to get a little drawing.
I mean, can you please draw it ass to mouth?
with a mouth to ass philosophy.
I'm gonna
Mouth
say-
to ass,
I'm gonna say
actually.
as well.
I went top to bottom.
I'm going to say that I've actually accidentally done it underneath two hearts that Aoife has
don't
drawn.
worry.
So they're not part of it.
Okay,
but
yeah.
But it's circular, but it's like that, but it goes up. So it's
Yeah.
it's sort of
It goes kind of higher up. Great. Parvis says, in like momentarily forgotten that some of you don't speak Draconic, look. And you look to Parvis and his eyes are misty and he's pointing at these pillars, and on these pillars you see this as well, Kel, because of course you speak Draconic, these other symbols, and you recognize them as the other tribes.
Mm-hmm.
And what he also points out to you is that beneath these markings of these tribes are droplets. And Parvis goes over to one of the pillars and he places his hand on it. And you see it's a pillar that denotes that they're from a tribe near Jape.
which to eye kind of doesn't mean.
Doesn't particularly mean anything. You just know that,
Yeah.
that's what the jape kobolds.
Yeah.
And then he looks back to you and says, "The blood. It works."
I walks over and on the symbol of my tribe. Put my hand.
He does the same, cuts his hand, places it on the symbol of his tribe. And there is a rumble in the ground, a different one.
A blue worm.
And that dais shifts. The movement is first, it's barely perceptible, and then the noise grows, so the dais seems to sink and rise and undulate, twisting further and further from the center of the hall, and in the center of the hall, there is an opening in the powdery stone.
Whoa. And because obviously no one kind of really understands what's going on here, and I points at this blood handprint on this symbol, goes,
This was his tribe.
And Parvus, with his hand on his pillar, says, "And this was mine."
That?
I think this is where we need to go.
So does I.
Great. Now I'm blighted and I have to wear the goggles.
And that's where we'll end our session. Thank you so much for watching. That was episode 25. That was our quarter century. We got through. It was quite quarter life crisis-y. There was a lot of existential dread, and we were being swallowed by some things that maybe we shouldn't have been. Don't think about it too deeply. Don't think about it too deeply. Thank you very, very much for joining us. If you would like to hear us slice open this particular worm, mouth to ass, and go through the contents within, then you can head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Natural6. However, if you just can't wait a whole... you can do that right now, or you're going to have to wait a week, actually. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to hold actions. And as we've discovered in that last combat, holding an action for one turn is frustrating. Imagine holding it for a week. No action surge for a whole
Especially if you
week.
then miss chromatic orb at level 3.
You poor blighted beauties. Thank you very much for joining us.
Something.
We will see you very soon for more adventures in the world of Reliquiae. Bye, everybody!